So this is part two of trigonometric functions of any angles. So we're just going to continue off. So on example four, it says evaluate the sine, cosine, and tangent of the angle without using a calculator. And our degree is 225 degrees. So this one's better because we don't have to define all six. We just got to find just the main three, right? Excuse me. Okay, so let's first figure out where is 225 degrees in our unit within the unit circle? I believe it is. Excuse me. Okay, so 225 degrees is in quadrant three. Here's 225 degrees. It's also 5 pi over 4. So, and 225 degrees is a degree within the unit circle and has an x coordinate of negative square root of 2 over 2 and a y coordinate of negative square root 2 over 2. Correct? This is your x, this is your y. So I like the angles within the unit circle because you don't have to do the SOHCAHTOA. In the previous lecture, if it is a degree within the unit circle, the x is the cosine, the y is the sine, and the tangent is y over x, right? So the cosine of 225 degrees is the x coordinate, which is negative radical 2 over 2. The sine of 225 degrees is the y coordinate, which is negative radical 2 over 2. And then tangent of 225 degrees, you might have to do some algebra. It's y over x. In our case, in our case, it would be negative radical 2 over 2 over negative radical 2 over 2, which gives you, this cancels, this gives you 1. Okay? So we don't have to find the 6. It just says sine, cosine, and tangent. Okay, go ahead and pause if you need to copy that. Let us move on to example 5. Example 5, evaluate the sine, cosine, and tangent of the angle without using a calculator, negative pi over 6. Okay, so our degree is in radians, and I believe pi over 6 is 30. So you're going so this is equivalent to saying negative 30 degrees, right? This is a radiant. So it is a degree within the unit circle. So first, kind of figure out where that is in the unit circle. So we're going negative 30 or negative pi over 6. So this is negative pi over 6. It's also, did you know that negative pi over 6 is also equivalent to, if you go clockwise, it's also the same thing as 11 pi over 6, positive 11 pi over 6, or 330, right? So negative 30 or negative pi over 6 could be expressed as this way, or believe it or not, negative pi over 6 could also be expressed as 11 pi over 6. How did I get 11 pi over 6? I basically did negative pi over 6 plus 2 pi, right? If you simplify this, this would be 12 pi, and 12 pi minus 1 pi is 11 pi over 6. Okay, so if you look at the coordinate, it has an x coordinate of radical 3 over 2, and then it has a y coordinate of negative 1 half. Okay, so find cosine, sine, and tangent. So let's do sine of negative pi over 6. Actually, let's do cosine first. So cosine is the x coordinate. So that would be radical 3 over 2, because it is a degree within the unit circle. Sine of negative pi over 6 is negative 1/2. Tangent of negative pi over 6 is y over x. So our y value is negative 1/2 divided by our x value, which is radical 3 over 2. Okay, so we have a complex fraction, so the 2's cancels. So you're left with negative 1 over radical 3. And then rationalize the denominator by multiplying top and bottom by radical 3. And you get negative radical 3 over 3. Okay, that's your final answer. So you have this, this, and this. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, example 6, evaluate the sine cosine tangent without using calculator, and our angle is negative 405 degrees. So honestly, negative 405 is not a degree within our unit circle. We only go from 0 to 360 or 0 to negative 360. So what you could do to find a degree, see if it's actually a degree within the unit circle, I would add 360. So it would be negative 405 plus 360. And I believe you keep on doing this until you have a positive degree. So if you put negative 405 plus 360, that gives you negative 45. Okay, so a lot of people could see that, know where negative 45 in the unit circle is. You could stop here, or you could keep on adding 360. And that's 315. Believe it or 315, 315 is the same thing as negative 45 degrees. It'll give you the same position. Okay, so it's up to you. 315, positive 315 is right here. And then negative 45 is right here. They give you the same position. So it's your choice. You can go negative 45, or you can keep on adding 360 until you get a positive degree. And it gives you a coordinate of positive radical 2 over 2, an x coordinate of radical 2 over 2, and a y coordinate of negative radical 2 over 2. Okay? So we got to find sine, cosine, and tangent. So the good news, it is a degree within the unit circle. So cosine of 315, or negative 4. Negative 405 is the same thing as negative 45 degrees or positive 315. Okay. So it is a degree within the unit circle. So it's the x coordinate, so that is radical 2 over 2. The sine of negative 405 degrees is the y coordinate, which is negative radical 2 over 2. And then the tangent of negative 405 is y over x. So it's negative radical 2 over 2, and x is radical 2 over 2. And this is just itself, which is 1, but you still have a minus, so it's actually negative 1. Okay, so those are your 3 answers. Okay, go ahead and pause to copy down, and then the next video will be a quiz. I will stop here.